So Newcastle United looking to get one deal over the line today. Santiago Munez, the Mexican under-23 international, coming in on deadline day. And I think obviously a lot of fans would like to see a lot more than that. But that's what Newcastle are doing as things stand. Obviously, we know on deadline day things can change dramatically. It only takes one bid for one of your players, and then suddenly things open up again. But at the moment, as I say, the 19-year-old coming in, he will go straight into the under-23 squad. That's where he's going to sort of learn his trade at Newcastle. And it's a bit of a subdued end to the window, but then it never really has, caught fire really when you look at it. Obviously, Joe Willock coming in was a big boost, but when you consider Newcastle are set to finish this window with pretty much a very similar squad to the one that finished last season, then that sums it all up really. Andy Carroll, ironically enough, 2 years ago today, we were standing at the same spot and he was wheeled in round the back door at St James's Park, and today it doesn't look like there's even going to be the excitement of that sort of free transfer coming in. And Newcastle now obviously have lost the services of Carroll for now, and he's not in the squad this season, so that means they're a striker down, which is a big concern for a lot of people. There's been some outgoing loans in recent days. Matty Longstaff going up to Aberdeen, a strange one in some ways when Newcastle have spoke about needing legs in midfield. He would certainly provide that as a young player. Obviously, he's not going to be a regular here, so that's the reason why he's gone. Sean Longstaff is the other sort of subject of interest, or has been in the last few days of the window. Everton are interested in him. Now looks to me as if they may wait and possibly look to sign him, next season when he's out of contract, which would be a big blow to Newcastle. But they need to sit down with him and talk to him about a contract. So, as I say, subdued up here at St James's Park. Steve Bruce has kind of played down expectations in the last few days. Although we are, learning that, Hamza Chowdhury from Leicester City, definitely a player that he wanted, definitely a player he tried to get in January. Inquiries have gone in this window also, but, without being able to move a player out the squad, it's going to be very difficult to bring that player in. Again, things could change. We don't know, because this deadline day and strange things happen, and there is, a reasonable amount of time to go on that clock. But for Steve Bruce, I think privately he'll be very disappointed with what they've done in the window. I mean, he will be delighted to have added Joe Willock to the squad on a permanent basis, but overall, does he feel that without that extra defender, without that extra midfielder, is there enough in this squad to make sure that it's going to be a comfortable season? At the moment, it's been everything but comfortable. 1 point from 9, and if that run continues, then that's going to be difficult for all concerned. But realistically now, for Steve Bruce, he'll have to get on with the job. That's he knew what he was signing up to when he came here a couple of years ago. I think the reason that he's survived those 2 years because he's kept Newcastle United in the Premier League, which is what he was asked to do. But he hasn't been too vocal in terms of complaining about the resources. And to be fair, he hasn't had anything to complain about in the previous windows. This is the first real window where he hasn't been given a lot of money. They got Willock through the door for him. That was a great signing. But even getting loan deals through has been proved very tough for Steve Bruce. And he now has a big challenge going in that first half of the season. He's already had goalkeeping problems. John Joe Shelby's already injured. Callum Wilson limped off against Southampton at the weekend. So you're only a couple of injuries away from from big questions being asked. You know, Newcastle had 6 or 7 players out at one time, at one stage last season because of COVID and stuff like that. So there's a lot of questions you can ask. We can make our final judgments on deadline day, you know, once it's shut, and really assess where this squad is at. But I think a lot of fans have made up their mind already, and it's deep disappointment. You can feel it even around the city. When there's a win after the weekend, you can feel the buzz around the place. Today, walk around the city, it's flat because they didn't win. They haven't won any of the first 3 games. It's deadline day, and only 1 young player is coming in. So that feeling around the city is there at the moment, and you know, maybe fans will be able to give us their views on this after I've done this broadcast. But at the moment, it's looking like that one signing through the door, subject to confirmation from Newcastle, and we'll see exactly where we are at 11 p.m. But yeah, Steve Bruce will probably be feeling a little bit disappointed on deadline day as things stand.